I'm writing on the extra practice that I gave you yesterday, just to kind of give you guys some heads up about what the test is going to be comprised of. Tomorrow, if you get extra time, plan on staying after school for an extra 20 minutes or so. As soon as you guys walk in, I'm going to give you your test, so you have about 48 minutes. You have the whole class period. So my extra timers, you'll have an additional 22 after school. So make sure that you guys make plans accordingly for transportation and stuff. But, all right, your test is going to have 14 questions total. All right, 14. Okay, 14 questions total. You're going to just have one from that P2 section. We have to distribute the exponents, negative exponents, all that kind of stuff. Then you're going to have 3 or 4, I'm not sure exactly, but 3 or 4 from P3. That was where we had operations with polynomials. Adding, subtracting, and multiplying. For some reason, we're getting hung up on this. Guys, look, if there is a plus sign in between 2 parentheses, what do you do to all the like terms? You add them, you combine them, that's it. If there is a minus sign in the middle, what do I do? We distribute the negative and then do what? Combine like terms. Guys, when there is an addition or subtraction sign in the middle, you do not multiply. You don't start foiling the 2 parentheses together. It's just combining like terms. When do we foil? When they're stuck together, when they're right next to each other. If the word says find the product, what does the word product mean to do? Multiply. What does the word difference mean to do? Subtract. What does the word sum mean to do? All right. Please, there's some fairly easy questions. Don't get yourself confused on that, but you guys have to know. All right. A meat of the test is going to come from P4 and P5, which makes sense. P4 was factoring. All right, you're going to have 4 or 5 where it just says factor completely. It's not going to say factor the perfect square trinomial. You're going to need to know that something's a perfect square trinomial. But what is the absolute first thing we always take out? GCF. Every single time. In order to factor completely, you have to take the GCF out first. Then we run down the list. If there's 2 terms, what are some possibilities that you could run into? You could run into the difference of perfect squares or sum or difference of cubes. You're gonna need to know the cubes pattern. Some of you on your tests and quizzes, you've been writing SOAP. It's a neat little thing to remember the signs in the pattern. The first parenthesis is the same sign. In the second parenthesis, the sign is opposite. And then the last one is always positive. If you want to remember it that way, that's fine. But if you have 3 terms, guys, what happens when we have 3 terms? That's a trinomial, and we break it down into 2 binomials. You're going to have situations where A is 1. That means the number in front of x squared is 1. But you'll also have situations where the number in front of x squared is not 1. So there's a little extra we have to do there, whether you factor by grouping or you do the little trick I showed you where you divide each factor by A and then simplify. And then if there's 4 terms, what do we do with 4 terms? You group. You take the first 2, take the second 2, and then you'll uncover the GCF that's hidden inside. All right. You'll also have 4 or 5 questions from P5, which was our rationals. Simplifying rationals, where you just factor top and bottom and cancel out what's the same. Multiplication and division, where you factor. What do we have to remember with division? You got to keep, change, flip. Good. If we forget to do that, we'll get the answer wrong. What about adding and subtracting? How do you add and subtract? What's another word for rationals? Fractions, right? How do you add and subtract fractions? What do you have to have? Same denominator. So if the denominator is the same, you just combine like terms on the top. If it's not the same, you guys have to get a common denominator, right? Very important. And then the last thing that we talked about was complex fractions. All that is everything we've done in rationals all in one huge problem. You'll have addition, subtraction problems in the numerator and the denominator that you have to simplify. And then you end up having a keep, change, flip, where you have to keep, change, flip, make sure everything's factored, and cancel anything out. All right? It's super straightforward, guys. I'm not saying it's super easy. We didn't give you all, like, super easy trinomials, but, like, it's super straightforward. After this, we're done with the prerequisite stuff, and we're going to get into our Chapter 1, solving equations. We're going to start that on Friday. That's when web assignment stuff will start. But do you guys have any questions on any of the questions that are on this? Yeah. Number 7. Okay. All right, what's your question? Okay, what is, somebody asked this yesterday. How come I can't just distribute that 2 to the first term and the second term? Why can't I just go, oh, this goes here and this goes here? Why am I not allowed to do that? Tell me, Jackson. If there's a quantity of 2, remember, you guys cannot distribute exponents over plus and minus signs. So what this is saying is you have 4x cubed minus 3 how many times? 4x cubed minus 3, and then you just FOIL. Yep. Yeah, no problem. Everybody was asking about, hold on. What's another one? Where is it? This one. But a lot of people ask me about this. All right. There's a bunch of different ways to write answers. I always tell you guys to factor out the negative first, whatever. That's the most simplified way to do it, and that's the easiest way to do it. But if you had a problem like this, it says completely factor. What's the first thing I would suggest that you do? Rewrite it. I'm going to rewrite this in standard form. So it's negative 2x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4x, right? So let's go down the list. When I completely factor, the first thing I do is take out the GCF. What's the GCF here? Negative 2x. So when I divide out negative 2x, I'm left with x squared minus x minus 2. Okay. So my negative 2x is there. Whoops. Are there factors of negative 2 that multiply to give me negative 2 and add to give me a negative 1? X minus 2, x plus 1. Guys, this answer here is the same as this answer here. Do you see the 2 that they took out and the x that they took out? Right? There's my 2x right there. They just didn't write it together. And if I were to rewrite this, would you agree that this would be x, negative x plus 2? And then if I took out the negative 1, this would be x minus 2. So that's where the negative is right here. This is the most simplified form. WebAssign sometimes has the entry a little different. Sometimes they'll take it different ways. They just didn't factor out the negative there, but that's the same exact thing. Always get in the habit of rewriting in standard form, and if it leaves with a negative, take the negative out. You guys have any other questions on this? No? All right, rest of the class period. If you come across something that you have a question on, feel free to come ask me, no big deal. But again, tomorrow, get in here as quickly as possible. Get your pencils sharpened. I'll sharpen some before you come in. Just put everything on the floor so you're ready to go as soon as the bell rings.